Hi, this is Carolyn Logue here with the Puyallup-Sumner Chamber of Commerce, and now I'm with Cynthia Jacobsen, who's running for the Puyallup City Council District 2, Position 2. Thank you for coming, Cynthia.
Thank you.
We're going to start off just with about 60-second introduction of yourself.
Perfect. I have lived in Puyallup 30 years. My husband and I have raised 7 children here, and all of our 5 grandchildren live here as well. I teach math right here in Puyallup at Pierce College. I love our city. I love the history of our city. I love a lot about our city. I hold a master's degree in accounting and a bachelor's degree in economics. I am fundamentally collaborative, accessible, hardworking, and principled. I can put in the time required to do an excellent job on the city council.
Okay. Why are you running for office, and what do you hope to accomplish?
I want to provide a different perspective, possibly a missing perspective on the city council. There is a choice for Puyallup City Council District 2, Position 2. Don't make any mistake about that. There is a choice. Right now, Puyallup is having some growing pains. As we grow, we need to make sure that we properly fund our infrastructure and our maintenance. We need to take care of the homelessness problem in downtown Puyallup. We need to move forward with taking care of the parks that we have before we purchase and develop new parks. We call ourselves an aging in place city, and we're also a lovely place for families to call home. But if we are pricing seniors out of the market with a lot of new taxes and utility fee increases, and we're not bringing in economic development down here, we are going to lose people. I talked to a guy at a door. His best friend had lived next to him for 30 years, and he said his best friend had to move out of Puyallup when he retired because he just didn't feel like he could afford it here. So I want to fight against that. I want to be a wise, reasonable voice on the City Council.
Okay. How do you intend to support the business community?
I am a fiscal conservative, and I am an entrepreneur, and I believe that robust economic growth can be accomplished in the context of a tax and regulatory environment that is wise and predictable, not onerous for people. We need to value our Puyallup businesses. We've got some enviable revenue sources in this city. We've got Auto Row, where new cars cost less. I would not consider, for instance, raising the sales tax even 0.1%. What if that was the tipping point for cars costing less in Puyallup? I believe in the free market. I believe in Americans who work hard and achieve success in business, so the city should, to the extent possible, get out of the way of business. That's not to say that we shouldn't be good stewards of the environment. We should, and we should control for externalities in our tax system. But government's job is to provide the context, the infrastructure, the safety, the predictability that businesses need to thrive and succeed.
Okay. So do you think new revenue is needed in the city? And if so, would you see the city B&O tax as a source for that new revenue?
No.
Not at all.
Okay.
First of all, simple answer.
Well, a little more. First of all, I'm not in favor of a tax on revenue, because if you have a tax on revenue, a business can have a huge amount of revenue and still have a huge amount of costs, and we could potentially be taxing a business who didn't have any profit. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that's fair. I don't really like that B&O tax structure. And I don't think at this point in our city that we need to consider new taxes on businesses or individuals right now at this time in our city.
Okay. Are you aware of any current development fees or permitting issues that need to be addressed?
Yeah. So overall, nationally, permitting fees are about 25% of the cost of a new home. So I believe that we do need, and this is permitting fees and direct and indirect regulation, that sort of thing, 25% of the cost of a new home. So we need regulations, obviously. Regulations can be beneficial and necessary. We do need them. But can we do better in Puyallup? So here in Puyallup, the cost for a 2,000 square foot home to be permitted has gone up 25% in the last 6 years, since 2011. We also have had park impact fees that have gone up 75% on that same 2,000 square foot home since 2011. So 75% increase in park impact fees. And we didn't stop there. We applied the park impact fees last May on a split council vote. We applied them to manufacturing concerns. So a new manufacturing concern who wants to build in Puyallup is going to have to pay a park impact fee of 87 cents a square foot. Wow. I'd say that's a pretty big barrier to entry, and that's a pretty big unintended consequence of our wanting to feel like we've done something great for the parks. Parks are great. We need to be careful about unintended consequences. So we need to put our citizens first. The other area of concern that I've got, and this is just anecdotal evidence, but we have a reputation apparently in Puyallup for being capricious in our permitting process and being capricious in dealing with investors. And we need to guard against that. I've heard multiple anecdotal stories about that. And again, anecdotal evidence, it is what it is for what it's worth. But if that's the case, we need to streamline our permitting process. We need to value our investors. Just as we need to value our Puyallup businesses, we need to value our investors here in Puyallup. And so what we need to do is we need to take a look at a potential investment and say, okay, if you're going to do this development, you need to do the schools and the roads, and you need to make sure that you're, controlling for this environmental impact. And we need to make our agreement, we need to shake hands, and we need to get out of the way of the investor. Because it is a privilege when we have people who are willing to invest in our city. And so we need to look at it that way. So again, Cynthia Jacobsen, Puyallup City Council, District 2, Position 2. I'm hoping that you can see that I am the better choice for that office.
Thank you for coming today.